Joining us now in the studio is Vanessa Neumann, Mr. Guaidó's official representative to the UK. Welcome, Vanessa Neumann. Did he pick the right battle? Why, as self-declared president of Venezuela, is Mr. Guaidó still trying to act as Speaker of the Assembly as well?
Thank you very much for having me on. It's not what he wants, it's our constitution. What has happened in Venezuela right now is the conclusion that our democracy will not be intimidated. It is the constitution we are defending that was passed in 1999 under Hugo Chavez, that every January 5th, the National Assembly, which, as you rightly said, is the internationally recognized heart of our democracy, the only independent democratic institution, re-elects its leader. And because more than 60 countries condemned the farcical 2018 so-called re-election of Maduro, in which none of the political leaders participated because most of them were imprisoned, being tortured by Maduro, and had no proper international observation, as a consequence, the presidency is considered vacant. According to that 1999 constitution, the president of the National Assembly, re-elected every January 5th, automatically becomes the interim president of the republic, a caretaker for our democracy.
Now, these were dramatic scenes, and you used the word farcical in terms of the election. Many would use the word farcical in terms of what they witnessed with Mr. Guaidó trying to climb over a barrier, and it all seemed like total chaos. Is it not belittling the appalling situation in Venezuela where 4 million people have fled the country? There is starvation. There's terrible hardship going on.
That's correct. I mean, actually, I think we're much closer now. I think we're at 4.7, nearly 5 million people who fled. Numbers projected are that we'll have 7 million will have fled by the end of this year of 2020, surpassing even the Syrian exodus. And we do have 2/3 of the people do not find enough food to eat. So what we are trying to do is to restore the country to the people. And what you have seen is, yes, unfortunately, I keep saying it was sort of a gift that, the image of military beating duly elected representatives, duly elected MPs, blocking the National Assembly is an image the world understands. And it's unfortunate, but we need to get our democracy back so that this criminal organization that has signed agreements with Soleimani will stop oppressing our people and we can get back to prosperity and our democracy.
I want to involve our guests a little in the discussion, perhaps by way of a question. I don't know, Assad, if you have something to ask Vanessa about the state of play in Venezuela at the moment.
Well, I think for most of us, when we look at Latin America now, when we see, of course, remembering the past history of brutal military dictatorships and U.S. intervention, do you think Donald Trump's ardent support for Guaidó has actually been a kiss of death for him?
That's a good one.
Thank you. It is a good one, and I do get that question quite a lot. To be fair, we are, of course, thankful for the support of the United States, but it takes a lot more than that. As the representative to the UK, I am personally extremely thankful to the involvement of the UK, who maintains a fully functioning embassy in Caracas and is a key node in protecting our human rights and advocating for our people. It takes the international community. We are thankful for the US support, but we need more than the 60 countries that have supported Guaidó. And I think
Do you need military intervention,
80.
though?
Well, I think what we need is for the world to understand, and I think now they do, the brutality of this regime. I mean, they planted bombs in hotels of the MPs where the MPs were staying in a false flag operation to intimidate and beat them the night before. And I think now we have more than 80 countries now support us because of what happened over the weekend. And I think the world needs to support that, to take away their money, take away the diplomatic representation, isolate them, and accuse them for the crimes they are committing. This is not political. Treat them like the criminals they are, and we will take charge of our own democracy.
And are you hopeful, finally, of a significant breakthrough in 2020?
Yes, I am. I very much am. Guaido had, to be fair, had a tough 2019. What happened now with the image of him storming back into the National Assembly and the 100 MPs that he needed, he only needed 84. A 100 supported him, storming through and taking back the heart of our democracy. He's got his mojo back. And in leaving the Voluntad Popular Party, he has become more of a unifying figure, a leader for all Venezuelans that is apolitical. And I think that bodes very well. Now, if we get the rest of the world on board, I think we'll be in pretty good shape.
You've got the Norwegians on board coordinating talks, haven't you? Any hope for them?
To be honest, I think that, we have seen that the Maduro dictatorship has done nothing in good faith. So I am very skeptical of dialogue. I think what we are moving toward is negotiation, which is very different from dialogue, which is what's it going to take for you to get on an airplane out and let us transition with an interim government to get us to free and fair observable elections. And that's a very different posture, and that's where we are now.
Thank you very much for coming into the studio. That's Vanessa Neumann, Juan Guaido's official representative here in the UK. You're with the BBC World Service. I'm Paul Henley. This is Weekend.